Today is April 30th, Thursday, all day long. Day 48 of us gathering together. A little bit of a new format I want to do tonight. I'm just going to let you know about all of my Love City art stuff that's going on out the gate so that people that want to hear it can hear it and then they can just log off. Or you can keep going through the rest of the good report. We are looking for actors right now. If you've ever thought about wanting to be an actor, if you've ever thought about wanting to toy with acting and reading parts and things like that, or if you're a seasoned actor and you're just like me right now, you're out of work but you want to stay fresh and you want to work on new and vibrant pieces, Mariah and I are doing Sip and Play, and it's going to be a good time. We're just going to get into a Zoom room and just strangers are going to read other strangers' stuff, and it's just going to be beautiful. So yeah, anyway, that's all I got to say. I thought that if I got the announcements part out of the way, then that would just clear the space for whatever else we could talk about as usual. Hey, Amy. Amy says, I was just thinking earlier that I hadn't logged on to your live feed for a while, and then the Andreas live notification popped up. Hi, love. So good to see you. I'm glad that it popped up. I'm glad that the great magnet brought us together for as long as you hang out. Amy also says, my dinner is going to be coming out of the oven shortly, so I can't stay the whole time, but I wanted to be here and say hello and I love you. I love you too, friend. This thing has kind of evolved even since you were here the last time. It's turned into this space where I literally just kind of sit here and whoever pops through is whoever pops through. And then on they go to the next thing. And then to the next thing. I'm sure. Because that's what I do. And so it's been really kind of cool, kind of just putting my chair down or just putting my rumpus down on this rock every night here and just seeing who magically shows up in the way that you just did. It's kind of cool. It's kind of cool. Amy says, when I miss it, I sometimes browse the comments and it's been cool to see what's happening. Oh, blessings to you, friend. I mean, like I said, I'm just sitting here and, I'm just kind of sitting here with my little like party flags of like gratitude and appreciation, and whoever pops through is whoever pops through. I love that I've never been attached this entire project to numbers. It's just all been about magical exchange. Like what's the serendipity of us all tuning in right now into each other, and the serendipity of us, of the people who will listen later. Like you're just at the right place at the right time. And speaking of listening to later, I've been turning some of these like at random into the podcast version. So if you would rather hear me squawk while you're showering, which I mean, I'm not trying to be weird. I'm just saying, like, there's certain people I listen to in the shower. Like I have podcasts, like Gary Vee and I shower together all the time, and he's straight with kids. So if you're into podcasts and listening while you sweep the house, or maybe you want to like take this yummy vibe on a run that you go on, there's a Love City Arts podcast that exists, and it's usually interviews that I do with people that I really find on the internet or friends of mine who I really admire. There's conversations all over the place, including ones with strangers for the interview-y kind of episodes. But I've been turning some of these into audio for people that kind of want to vibe with the love. You just never know. You just never know who's going to resonate with what. And I, oh my goodness, quiet on the set. I know there are people that will also gravitate to various different areas, and so I'm just gonna just plant seeds of love in all of the spaces, Twitter, Facebook, all of those kids. I'm gonna just plant seeds of love and appreciation and gratitude and artistry and creativity and freedom in those things. I'm just gonna put that I'm just going to continue to spread those seeds, and then we'll see what grows. We'll continue to see what grows. So yeah, thank you, Amy, for hanging out with us for a little bit. I wonder what's for dinner. Oh my God, Cheryl. Cheryl says, I made it. I made it in tonight. You did make. Hi, love. It's really good to see you. Now I feel like I have to put my hat up a little bit so you can see my face. You know, there's a beautiful black woman. There's a queen in our midst. I feel like I had mac and cheese. Okay, so the queen enters the room, Cheryl, and Amy brought the mac and cheese. What else we got? Is the meal mac and cheese? Like, it's like a lobster mac and cheese? Is it like a, what are we talking about? Amy says, it's a mac and cheese, which means, yeah, when it comes out of the oven, you know, yeah, child. Amy says, for the podcast listeners, Amy says, when it comes out of the oven, you know where my priority is going to be. Listen, I wouldn't even prioritize myself over a pan of mac and cheese. I have a mac and cheese story, Amy, that I can share with you, but not on this internet. But I got a really good mac and cheese story. Anyway, that could be weird, but it's not. Cheryl says, I see your beautiful face. It's good to see you too, Cheryl. It really is. Amy says, butternut squash mac and cheese, some roasted broccoli, and a good glass of Italian white. That sounds amazing. I want some mac and cheese too, Cheryl. When we can be together again, a mac and cheese story over a drink. It's a date. It is a date. Oh, dates. I miss those. Romantic and platonic. I don't know which ones I miss more. I don't know if I miss the platonic dates more or the romantic ones. I guess I can miss them both, right? I can miss them both. What's been going on with your day? It's a Thursday. Can you believe that April is already out of here? We just literally blinked. And it's so funny because we've been in the house. So we've not been necessarily as busy or physically busy as we've been. But we've been, I mean, it's so interesting. I don't know how, someone make this make sense. Like, we've been in the house for 30 days. April is gone, and it feels to me, maybe it's to me, I'll speak personally, I feel like it flew. I feel like April, I was just kind of like, I feel like I was just saying, well, it's going to be April soon, you know, because we were in the house, like, this is day 48, so we were in the house 30 days ago. So yeah, I think I was kind of like, oh, well, I guess we'll be going with coronavirus into April. And now the month is over. Does anybody else like feel that way? Or is it just me and my Buddhist bullshit? I just feel like it just like floated on by. Didn't even feel it. It's like, all right, there's a month in the house. All right. It's got to be the glory for the things. I don't know. How do you feel about it? Hey, Pam, it's good to see you. Peace to you in this time, given everything that you've shared with me offline. I'm lifting you up, and I'm lifting your people up, and I'm lifting your community up. I really am. Special spot of mercy and grace to Pam in that whole situation. Cheryl replying to Amy, I miss hugs too, and I'm really not a hugger. Oh, you're not a hugger, but you will be going forward. All right, well, be careful on your merging into being a hugger right after a pandemic. Easy to that, but I'm happy that you have decided to become a hugger in our post-COVID society. Amy says, yes, I feel like yesterday I was evacuated from work and sent home, and now I know it's a weird time slip that's happening. I feel, it's weird. Yeah, I mean, I lost, well, my last day of work was 3 weeks ago. 1, 2, 3 weeks ago today. And then, it's been a month. It's been a month. I was employed at the top of the month. Ain't it something? Oh, man. It's so funny. Not necessarily haha, but just funny. Just funny. Let's see, comments here. Comments. Oh, y'all are chatty tonight. I love this. I gotta find where I left off. Yesterday was evacuated. Oh, yeah. Cheryl says, I've been mailing cards to have the interactions with people. Like I'm mailing warm fuzzies and hugs. Oh, wow. Like the Pony fucking Express over there. I love it. That's Cheryl's heart, though. I need to send out postcards. But then I read that COVID-19, that coronavirus can live on paper. And so then I got weird about sending the postcards. And so I'm still collecting addresses if you want to send it to me, and I can send it to you after. But that made me kind of weird. I don't know. Can someone tell me if coronavirus lives on paper? I don't want to kill somebody by postcard. Wouldn't that be awful? How did Susie die? Oh, she received one of them Love City Arts postcards. Jesus, just took her the fuck out. Like I can't. We're not doing that. We're not doing that. So someone let me know if coronavirus that leads to COVID, if it can stay on paper. Pam says, I'm a hugger and I do miss that. I know I'm a cuddly person too. I've become, by living in New York, I've had to become a less cuddly person. I used to be really cuddly. There are people who know me in life as a really cuddly person, platonic, romantic, and otherwise. But then New York kind of makes you less cuddly. It's so hard to explain. Someone can probably attest to this in the comments. Please come in here and assure the people that I gotta catch up on these comments. Amy says, I love that you tell her to ease into being a hugger. My issues is that you're a huge hugger, and I worry that the first person I can hug is gonna end up with cracked ribs. I know. I'm sorry. That was a visual. No, Amy, no. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. It's just the visual of Amy bear hugging someone and cracking their ribs on first hug because of all that pent up hugging energy. I'm sorry. It just blesses me so. And I'm just like, no, when the slow-mo of a movie, like, no, don't hug them. No, hug them, Amy. Hug them, but don't hug them that hard. Cheryl goes on to say, replying to Amy, laugh out loud, not cracked ribs. Laugh out loud, not Susie died from correspondence. Yes, that's how she died. You can mail out stuff. Okay, I can mail out stuff. All right, so I'll resume. All right, I'll tell you what. Don't put your address in these comments because these will go out into the internet. It's like on 5 streams. But if you want to DM me your address or email your address to me, I'll send you a personal note on these handy dandy thanks for being you Love City Arts postcards that I had made before we got, into this predicament. So yeah, if you DM me and we don't have to get into a long conversation. I won't ask you about your mama unless I ask you about your mama, because Amy, if you send me your address, I'm going to ask you about your mama because we talk about your mama. And so, that could happen. But if you just want to drop me your address and then bounce, that's cool too. And then I've got tons of stamps here from the Christmas cards that I didn't mail. And so I'll just send a thanks for being you Love City Arts postcard to all of the people that DM me their addresses. Like I said, I had these made from Canva because I'm a Canva hoe. I love Canva. That's a little pro tip to those of you out there that are trying to like build brands and be creative and start dreams. If you can just start poking around and playing in Canva. In fact, they have a university. So if you're into like graphic designs, you need graphics for your business and stuff. They have modules and things to teach you how to be a graphic designer for free on Canva. And so I design on Canva. The shirt was designed on Canva. All of that back in the background was designed on Canva. The little logo, Canva. And then these postcards, I also designed on Canva, right? And so then I designed it, and then there's a little place at the end where they click, do you want to print it? Do you want to make a PDF of it? Or do you want postcards? And I was like, I want postcards. And they sent me this box of postcards. I want to send one to the community. I've been wanting to do it for a minute. I just thought that we could transfer coronavirus on paper. I read that somewhere. I'm not making this shit up. Anyway, I'd love to send you one. If when you log off from here, or when you go on, if it hits your spirit tomorrow or next week, DM me your address if you're comfortable, and I will write you a love note of why I love you. I know I've got 2 addresses sitting in the inbox because now you just set me free to send out paper. So, I've got 2 addresses for sure from people that want a postcard. I'll send you a postcard. I'll send you a Love City postcard with a personal note from me and our community to you about what makes you special. Because, I mean, everybody in here is special. Amy says, still send postcards. When I bring my mail in, I set it aside, then read it a day or 2 later. But so far, there's no evidence of getting COVID-19 by touch. If you touch things, just wash your hands before you touch your face or eat. Touch things, set them down, then wash your hands. Yes. It can live on paper, but you can spray it lightly. Okay, there's conflicting information here. Okay. No, Amy, please don't get me going again. Please don't get me going. Oh my goodness. Pam says me too. Cheryl says, hey, Bianca Dotson Gregory. Oh my God, Bianca's here. Wait. I want a postcard. I love getting mail that's not bills. Okay, you DM me for sure your address. COVID or no COVID. I'm going to send you a postcard, and I'm going to write on the back how much I love you. It's got our cool little mascot on it, Percy the koala bear. You know, because this is how I play at being a kid. Oh, there he is. There's Percy. So it's got, I'm never going to grow up because I don't have to grow up. And so if I run a business and an organization that supports creatives and loves creatives and tries to help them allow their dreams to come true and make their dreams come true, if I'm an adult running this business, why can't I have a cartoon koala bear on my things? Why can't we have a mascot? We've been so serious. We've been working in our jobs. Have you been on the C-suite? Oh, I don't know. Have you been who's on the C-suite? Who's sitting up there? Like all of this adulting has just made us way too dull. You know what my favorite thing to do these days? I found out how to put Bitmoji. I figured out how to put Bitmoji into emails. So everyone, business person, business email, not business email, contracts, and invoices, money making, non-money making, voluntary for the coins. All of those emails are getting cartoons now because we have been so brainwashed into one way or a couple ways of being in life that we've not allowed ourselves to just have fun. Even in business, it's so stuffy in here. So much fucking competition. Like, that can't feel good to be in competition with other people all the time, and yet that's what we do. I'm not doing it. I'm sending cartoons out in my emails. That's what I'm doing. I'm sending postcards to my friends, to my community, to my loved ones. I'm laughing because that's all we got. That's all we got. It's a beautiful thing. Okay, I'm going to pick a card as I do every night. It's nothing woo-woo. These are the original angel card decks. They're little inspirational messages and meditations. And so every night around this time at 8:30, I get online. I tried something new tonight by doing like all of my Love City Arts announcements at the top of the show, like immediately. So that way people can either like watch the announcements and then log off, or like keep going, or like tune me out altogether. Like whatever. But I think it'll be easier that way. I think it'd be easier. I'm just experimenting. I think it'd be easier. I start the show. I see my little, we need actors for Sip and Play, and then I move on to into this piece. I think that'll work. And then some people can watch like 2 minutes. Some people can watch 1 minute. Some people can watch 4 seconds and be like, ah, this bearded happy motherfucker. Oh, okay. Oh, all right. I have the word that we're meant to do. I have the word that we're meant to do from the original angel cards, and she trademarked this, so it must be a thing. I mean, you can't trademark angels, but I think that this deck of cards is like known by people because it's a trademarked angel card deck. Anyway, the word that I picked for tonight is simplicity. Simplicity. All right, so now I've got to go to the book. That's what I needed. I needed that vibe. Simplicity. Okay, here we go. Simply be yourself. Look past the fanfare and drama to what is enduring. Take time to clarify what is important to you and let non-essentials fall away. I think we've pulled this card before. I don't know what day. I don't track this, but like we're in day 48 now. We've been here every night at 8:30 since the beginning. So I don't know what card. Oh my God, there's so many comments in here that I think I'm sorry. Hey, Shirley. Not conflicting. I can live on paper. So spraying it can kill it, but you can also just put it aside, then wash your hands. Some people don't want to make the paper damp. I wouldn't want to make the paper damp either. Pam sent the address. She loves koalas. Okay, you're definitely getting a card. I'm dark unicorn, so I understand not growing up. I know, we just don't have to grow up if we don't want to. Bianca says, I love this so much. Your energy makes me smile. Oh, your energy makes... Bianca Dodson and I, if I'm not mistaken, we've ridden on like yellow school buses together. Now, the Dodsons, twins, are longtime school buddies. We went to all kinds of Richmond Public School programs and things together. That's RPS royalty as far as I'm concerned. And one of them, I don't know if it's Bianca or if it's a sister, one of them, or maybe both of them, have their doctorate. Just brilliant black girl magic. So thank you for stopping by. My energy makes you smile. Your energy makes me smile. Thanks for being here. Oh, yes, let's go. I love angel cards. Oh, okay, great. And then Amy, I'm about to read it one more time. Amy says, I'm not particularly concerned about catching the virus through the mail, says Dr. Oh, you went and got receipts. Dr. Esper says, we're certainly studying it and we'll be able to understand a lot more as time goes by. But the answer is no. I don't think people need to be concerned about getting the virus through the mail. Okay. And then there's a Cleveland Clinic link that's sitting right there that I'm not going to click because I'm live, but I love that you came through. Amy is that way though. Amy will come with the receipt. There it is, guys. You can check it out later on the stream in the comments. Cheryl says, "I love that card. Can I read it again?" Yes. Okay, I'm caught up now. Simplicity. The word is simplicity. Simply be yourself. Look past the fanfare and drama to what is enduring. Take time to clarify what is important to you and let non-essentials fall away. The last piece says, take time to clarify what is important to you and let non-essentials fall away. Okay. Woo. I can feel my help coming about this card. Woo. I can feel my help coming about this card. I gotta take a sip. Listen to me. Take time to clarify what is important to you. Around day 10 or 12 into this experience, we're on day 48 now, right up top there. However this goes. I gotta go that way. Whatever. Day 48 is what we're on. Around day 12, I began to see that watching certain occupants in certain high places in the land began to disturb my peace. Talking about him actually disturbed my peace. Contemplating him disturbed my peace. Paying attention to everything he was saying or tweeting disturbed my peace. There was just lots of drama around him for me. He was not contributing to my well-being, especially staying in the house. And then over time, I've started to hear pieces of him wanting people to, do harmful things, trying to get rid of the virus because he's speaking from an uninformed perspective. I don't blame the guy. I think he was an idiot the whole time. I blame us for allowing this to go on as long as it has. And by us, I do primarily mean white people, which I know is a horrible, thing to do in this very healing space. But I think we have to speak very, very clearly about what's going on here. And this is a detour from the card. This may not be as angelic for everybody who's tuned in, but I think we have to speak very, very clearly about the fact that, white supremacist behavior and racism and hatred is what keeps him in the highest place in the land. And let's be also clear about the fact that this country has always been built on the backs of oppressed people at the hands of white supremacy and capitalism. That's always been a thing. Slavery is the epitome of human greed and capitalism over the treatment and proper treatment of other people. This is as American as pie. This oppression, this white supremacy, and so I'm kind of over people. And this is a major detour. I got where I'm going to say. I know where I'm going with this. It's why it's so confusing to me when people are like, how is this happening? How did he get here? What is going on? The white progressive, the white moderate, what is going on? We know what's going on. America is going on. This experiment that went sour, and gives us so much ism, racism, sexism, all the phobias, all of this. So he was doing what he always does. I just lost 2 viewers. Oh well. He was doing what he's always done, and I'm witnessing this, and it's just beginning to get really, really toxic, really, really dark. And so I just said, you know what? I'm going to take time to clarify what is important to me. And what's important to me is love and community. What's important to me is recognizing the good in you and having the good in you recognize the good in me. That's what's important to me. What's important to me is focusing on whatsoever is lovely, whatsoever is noble, whatsoever is of good report. Think on those things. So I just attract, if he does something crazy, it eventually gets to me because I've got friends that love this shit and just kind of send it over the fence, and I'm graciously being like, that's cool. So it's going to get to me somehow because negativity does that. But I'm not going to seek it out. I'm going to clarify what is important to me and let non-essentials fall away. He is not essential to me. You are essential to me. The people who hear me right now on the podcast later tomorrow, and the people who are watching me live that have popped through here, you are essential to me. I feel that the hair on everything's vibrating high. You are essential to me. Naysayers, evildoers, I'll focus on what they're doing so that I know how to properly respond. I'm not going to be ignorant to the evil in the world, but I'm going to take in just enough to be like, oh, no. I don't want to do that. Let's get to these comments. Correct, good sir. Oh, doctor. Yes. Dr. Fallon. Fallon is the doctor. Yes. You know me, friend. If you want info, I'm going to get info. And on that note, I'm going to eat my dinner. Oh, so I didn't lose Amy because of my rant, because Amy's on that. She went to have her mac and cheese. Simplicity. I know, it's wonderful. You better talk about it, brother, is what Bianca says. Cheryl says, this who should be here are here. Yeah, the people who should be here are here. Absolutely. Amy says, I'm so glad I left this playing while I went for my dinner. Dear fellow white people, if any of you find what is happening surprising, you are not paying attention, period. Oh, and Amy's quite white. Putting on blast. Yes, dear white people, for real. It's like, it's ridiculous. Like, this thing, we know why Trump is there. We know what he incites within people. We know what he panders to. We know what he awakens within people. It's as ugly as the first person they put on a damn ship. It's as ugly as that. What we are witnessing out of our White House, out of our collective American White House, what we are witnessing out of our White House is shameful. It's just as shameful as the first indigenous person that was killed in colonialism, and as the first slave y'all snatched. It's as evil as that. And you could call me angry black man. Oh, we've gotten to the angry black man part of the podcast. None of that. That's just how I feel about it, you know? Like, and all love to everybody. Truly, all love to everybody. Everybody who knows me knows that my heart is love, but like, that's messed up. And what we are witnessing is as shameful as the first grievance. Just out of control. It just upsets me so. And Jimmy Baldwin, who I don't get to call him that, James Baldwin, but his friends call him Jimmy Baldwin, and I love it, said to be awake and conscious in this society is to be infuriated all the time. I'm paraphrasing, but that's what James Baldwin said. To be awake and conscious in this racist ass society, this anti-black society, this greedy society. Take racism out of the picture. Let's just say that we all believe that everybody was skin tone equal. And I'm not even trying to lighten myself in here, by the way. It's just the way the lights hit me. I'm not Oprah, so I can't afford the good shit yet. But, I mean, it's all upsetting. It's just all upsetting from time to time when you really, really think about, what he said. To be awake and conscious is to be, agitated because you see that this was all an original sin, and the sin of the father was the sin of the father, 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 was the father. And so we're now still, we made such, progress. I'm a black man. My privilege is that I'm a black man of a certain socioeconomic status, that I have the tools, resource, space, and home. My privilege, my black ass privilege, I have that here that so many others don't have. So recognizing that, I'm not trying to dismiss the progress. I am my ancestors' dream. Like the fact my great grandmother Sally was a whole slave. Like my grandmother's mother's mother was a slave on a plantation. Excuse me. And so literally the fact that I get to sit here and share equal space with all of you is all you need to know about the testimony of the goodness of progression and moving forward and resiliency and overcoming hardship that's still in our DNA. Coronavirus, for those of us that live, and I hope we all do, coronavirus ain't shit to black people. We've been going through it for a minute. Coronavirus is one added layer of the suffering. I'm not trying to take away from the fact that we're dying in this more than our counterparts, and that's a problem. Look it up. The numbers say that black and brown people are dying exponentially more than everybody else with this. So I'm not trying to pretend like this is not a problem. I'm just saying that we need to get it together so that we can, talk about the fact that, like, we came over here on slave ships. We're going to be all right. Let's see if you hate what I said, if you love what I said, if okay, so Bianca's down for love and community through the unity. I love it. Amy says love and community is what matters, but if you say that and your community is limited, then you don't really mean that. Yes, I'm with you, Amy, on that. Amy says you, meaning someone that says that and limits their community with hate, not you. Yeah, I know you weren't talking about me. I hope that's clear. Yeah, you're clear. I love also that Amy comes back to clarify, because you want to be clear on the internet in these words. And there's some responses there with Bianca saying period. Karen, hey Karen, I'm glad you bounced through. The truth is that all empires have been built on the backs of the enslaved and poor and oppressed. It's a damn shame that history repeats. We have to make sure the bonds are broken and forbidden and not forgotten behind these guises. Yes, Karen, yes. My God, I love it. Oh God. Ooh. Bianca starts clapping for that, I'm sure, because that was a good one. That one was really, really good. Not forgotten and hidden behind guises. Woo. All an original sin. Yes. Karen says, we have to recognize the traps they set out to capture people and keep you struggling instead of flourishing. Absolutely. Yes. That part. Yeah. Which is exactly the reason why today's card is so clear. I'm going to be simplicity. I'm inviting the people in my community and in my friend group to simply be your beautiful last self. In the face of everything. Don't let the haters keep you down, baby. Don't let the naysayers or the eye rolls, or don't let what people, whoever the fuck that is, don't let what people think keep you from reaching out on your dream and your purpose, because I'm telling you something, like, it don't matter. It don't matter. You need to be expressed on this earth. You need to be expressed on this earth. They want to keep us struggling instead of flourishing. I don't know about you. I want to flourish. And you know what? I don't have a job right now or anything, but I feel flourished. Does that make sense? Like, I feel flourished in my heart. I'm hopeful that better things are on the horizon. Like it's an inside job. And because my happiness was not tied to what I do, Look, I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna get to the card. I'm gonna tell you a funny story though. Today I was in a creative meeting with producers, like a producer, writer, theater makers meeting. And we're in the meeting, and people are talking. I'm being interviewed in this meeting, and anyway, this guy starts talking about his relationship with me, and he's like, yeah, Andre does a lot of things. I don't even know what he does. And I just laughed about it because I have been so focused over the years on like trying to be somebody that's known for something, and now no one knows what I do, which is so funny. And then in the 4 years of my job that I had that I just lost, I lost is relative. I mean, I know where it is. The job is there. I just don't have it anymore. Oh my God, it's so funny. But the whole 4 years of that experience, I was effective in working and doing things, but no one there. The inside joke was that no one ever knew what I did. They would say that my role was nebulous. Now, I was there doing work, interfacing with people, helping people, building bridges, building diversity, equity, and inclusion programs, running a $1.5 million budget, approving cost, fact-checking conferences, all these, but no one could ever tell you what I did. And so to be on that creative call today, and still no one quite knows what I do. What I'm finding is like, that's what Karen's saying. You're flowering on great. Like I like it all. I like getting on here and chopping it up with y'all in community. I think that coronavirus is going to provide a lot of open doors. Like, I couldn't get 3 people in a room consistently to do powwows and roundups, like in New York. And I was doing advertising, and there were posters up on the square and everything. I couldn't get 3 people to sit in a room and like chill and talk about and just shoot the shit about gratitude and appreciation. I couldn't get that. I did 3 of them. The first one, a group of people came. Then the next one, 3 people came. And then the next one, like, it was just me and the priest that was sponsoring the event in his fellowship hall. It's just me and him sitting there. So I think that, the fact that we're here just kind of chilling and like sharing love together is a good thing. I like that we can do it this way. But to my point, I like doing this. I also like singing on stages. I also like casting projects. I also like, the list goes on and on. I like making food. I like being a chef. I like making, I was a flight attendant. Like, stop asking us. Stop asking me to be one thing. I'm just Andre, and I'm here to help. It's been the most interesting thing, and I guess it triggered me today, and I'm not mad about it, but I guess it triggered me today that I'm in there, and this is I won't get into it, but we've been working together, but because I come with the kind of like, let me listen to you, but let me also encourage you, but let me also help you. Oh, let me help you cast this. Oh, you want to write more? Oh, here's a writing project. Oh, you want to, do this? Oh, let's do this. Because I'm willing to kind of go through all of these creative pathways just so that like we can all play in the sandbox together. No one knows. Then, like, one moment I'm, singing somewhere, and then the next moment I'm on here being some, cheerleader. What's going on? It's so funny. Anyway, that must have triggered me deep because I'm talking about it now. But I don't want to have to choose. I just want to be me. And I think that a lot of people feel that way. There's like, you have a lot of interest, you have a lot of gifts, you have a lot of things that you want to dabble in. And the society is constantly asking us to like get in your pile, stay in your place. What is your category? I love those little things that you have to scroll down, ask you for your category. Where is Light Seeker? Where is Lovely Human Being? Where is that category? Where is that just like I'm just here? Like where is that category? Well, this music just got really, really weird. and it just got really like it got dark. Like, did it not? Okay, that's better. Yeah, I'm very sensitive to tones. I don't play aggressive music. And that's not me coming for anybody and their personal preferences about music, but this type of music that you're hearing right now, and I'll turn it up a little bit so you can get a little more of it. This is where I stay when I'm working all day at the office. This is what's in my ears. Sometimes a show tune or two, but this is mostly what it is, because this just kind of gets me into this like, it's okay, I'm clicking, I'm working, that's an email, clicking and working and connecting people and smiling while I do it. And then, it just turns, I'm not gifted, I'm not going to be in Hamilton. I mean, maybe I will be, if I can learn how to like rap and like do that. You never know. Everything is possible. Don't count me out. Tesley and them who cast Hamilton. So funny. Anyway, what are you grateful for today? Sound off, those of you who are in this space, and we'll read those together, and then we'll move into the space where we hold everyone in space. How about we do that? Let's just take a moment before we drop our gratitude good reports. Let's just take a moment to just remember all of the people who are on the front lines and who have been experiencing levels and varying degrees and of suffering today. Just today. I don't want to compound things by taking in the suffering of the last 48 days. That's a lot even for me, because there were times when I was just kind of screaming at my phone and crying in the shower, and and I still leave room for that to still happen. It could happen today or tomorrow, but I just really want to bear remembrance to the suffering that still exists because coronavirus is doing what it does. And I want to call in those who have lost someone to this, someone who's throwing up requests for prayers related to this, people who are out being exposed to this day in, day out, the person that is a germaphobe inside, but is working, but they're essential, so they have to work in that level of suffering. I just want to call them into the space right now. Anybody who is in pain or has been in pain for the last 24 hours, just want to call them into the space. Just come on into the city, because in here we hold space for love. A love that is able to ease suffering. And love is known by a lot of names. Love, some call it God, some call it divine wisdom, some call it the divine mother, some call it Allah, some call it, woven within the teachings of the Buddha. There's a lot of different pathways to that one channel of good. But that's what we invite into this space, and we ask that divine goodness just dispense its love onto all who are suffering right now, myself included. That we may feel love pour into us deep, 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 deep. That we must always remember that the love that we are reaching for is reaching back towards us. Not some of the time, but all of the time. And so wherever you are, those who are under the sound of my voice and those who we've just called into this space by necessity for refuge, we just ask that love will just rain down in our midst. And I really believe, because we are connected, that someone that's in our network, in our field of awareness, someone feels lifted right now. Perhaps it's you. Lifted right now as a direct response to the fact that we just asked love to be in our midst. Blessings to those who are essential. All right, let's get to these comments here. Excuse me. Yes. Love that. It's hard to choose to be sometimes. I'm gonna bet that was about gratitude. Yeah, it's hard to choose to be grateful, but I think it feels lighter. I think it feels better for me. I think that when I get the choice between being grateful or when I get the choice between being grateful or focusing on what I don't have, the feeling in my chest just varies. Like think about it. When you think about what you don't have and what's not working out, what does that feel like in your center of your chest right now? And then when you think about like things actually working out and things going well, and that, you know, there's so much to be grateful for right now with what I have. I'm looking at so many things in here. So much access with no job. What? So it's like, you know, that feels more vibrant. It feels healthier. It feels more hopeful. So yeah, I'm gonna try my best to choose that as much as possible. Cheryl says, yes, blessings to those who are essential. Blessings to those who have had loved ones return to energy. Yes. Back to the source they went. Yes, that has to be a struggle, Bianca says. Cheryl goes on, blessings to those who are working through anxiety and depression. Yes. Blessings to those. Love endures. Yes, love endures. Love endures. Love endures. Love endures. Love endures. Thank you for saying that, Bianca. Thank you for saying that. Love endures. Love endures. I want that word from you to get deep down in me. Love endures. Love endures. So thousands sick, thousands lost to this, and so much sadness around the passing of people who were dear. I've had friends who have lost people. I've lost people to this, and love endures. Their love, like the love that they inhabited in their lives, the love that they possessed, that endures. Never destroyed. Never destroyed. Love endures. I love that. Blessings to those who are suffering in silence. Yes, Cheryl. Blessings to those who are suffering in silence. I gotta say, part of the reason why I show up every night at 8:30 roundabout, but mostly 8:30 on here is because this is part of my rebellion. I'm not going to suffer in silence. I'm not going to get into a everything's crashing, woe is me, I'm all alone space. I refuse. And so as an act of defiance, because I have had bouts of depression and deep struggles throughout my life with this, and you can look back in the episodes. I mean, I've shared very publicly about my suicidal ideation and things like that. It's not good for me to get stuck in my head about anything as a byproduct of my brain chemistry. It's just not a good thing for me to be in my head. And so as we bless those who are suffering in silence, I just want to acknowledge that the reason why I come on here and kind of hold this dedicated space for gratitude and expression and exchange is because of my defiance to suffer in silence. Will not do it. Will not do it. There are dark, dark forces, Luke Skywalker. There are dark, dark forces that tries to suppress the light. And it starts with the suffering and silence for a lot of people, Cheryl. You're absolutely right. There's lots of people who are suffering in silence. I bless them. Blessings to you who are suffering in silence, blessings to you who are suffering in silence. And also, I just want to recognize that blessings to those who are also cultivating communal spaces to keep from having to suffer in silence. Karen says, I'm about to call it a day, lovely. Keep being the voice of blessing, and I hope to connect with you again soon. Peace be with all of you. That's wonderful. Cheryl says, blessings to those who need to release all of the negativity they are absorbing. Yes. Blessings to those who need to release all the negativity they are absorbing. Yeah. Be careful. In Buddhism, we talk about the sense gates, the 5 sense gates, eyes, and all this. You know what senses are. The sense gates. And guard them. Guard what you see. Guard what you eat. I'm failing on that one a little bit. I've been eating everything. But like we talked about in previous episodes, I'm just gentle and compassionate with myself. Like, okay, I'm eating everything. I've got 2 of those lemon muffins left. Or they're not muffins. I've also been thinking about this too. A muffin is simply like, okay, a muffin is simply a breakfast cupcake. That's not an epiphany, right? I had that epiphany last night, but that's not an epiphany. That's not new. But I had that epiphany last night. I was like, a muffin is just a breakfast cupcake. Same bread, same cookie, like same sweetness, same. A muffin is a cupcake you have for breakfast. That's all it is. Bianca says, choosing between different careers, hard to choose one thing. Gratitude is vital. Absolutely. We're gonna land where we're supposed to be. Even if I need to get a standard job or like a minimum wage job, like whatever I need to do to just keep life afloat, but also continue to pursue this passion. That's what it looks like now. I'm not going to get more golden handcuffs to someone else's corporate, money making. I don't want to be in a toxic environment. I just want to make an honest wage, and go home. And I think that really didn't vibe well in the climate and environment that I was working in. And I'm not saying anything bad about this company. It was a very sustaining presence for 4 years. But what I will say is that I did not feel vibrant there. I was tolerated and not celebrated. And that made me sad for the greater part of like 2.5 years. I was there like 2.5 years too long. I was being tolerated there and not celebrated. There are people who were celebrating me. I was celebrated in pockets, but the people where it like mattered for like my job security and for like what I was trying to accomplish, which was simply this: assign me work, allow me to do that assigned work, evaluate whether it's good or bad, and if it's good, I'll continue to repeat those tasks, and if it's not good, we'll evaluate it, clean it up. It won't happen again. I'll be very repentant. I won't do it again, and then on we'll go. It was so hard to just get that. It was so many other things involved that had nothing to do with the actual work. I didn't like that. And I know that a lot of us are either in institutions or have been laid off or fired from institutions. I was laid off. I took the furlough and then converted it into a layoff because I just needed to be free. But hats off to people who are in institutions that just run dysfunctionally for no damn reason because of people's personalities. Like there was a lot of conversation over the years about my personality. Particularly when I started standing up for myself. Then I became problematic when I started asking for money commensurate with my work and skill set. When I started doing that, then I was becoming problematic, and then all of a sudden my personality was now a problem. Like the fact that I stood for something became a problem. And so I could never fit in quite that well, particularly when I was willing to tell the truth and also be just kind of left to do my work. But those of you who know what I'm talking about know what I'm talking about. Especially if you just want to show up, do great work, celebrate the great work, but then clock out and go the fuck home. So yeah, I'll be here giving you updates for the rest of the journey, Lord willing, Spirit willing. But it's gonna be very interesting to see where I land from a money making perspective, because I've really been put off by those environments where they set you up, they welcome you in, and then when you are truthful and you're not harming anyone, but when you just kind of speak the truth, or when I don't know, just, weird things like people like seeing you in an African, dashiki, because I wear, maybe I wasn't supposed to be wearing it. Am I not supposed to wear a dashiki to work? I think I can wear a dashiki to work, and then having to deal with the whole like, oh, that's very festive. Why'd you wear that today? Those kind of comments, like I'm kind of like, why would you say that? And like, I just felt like wearing a colorful dashiki. I wanted to honor my ancestry today. But you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna do these spreadsheets you asked me to do. Like, why are we talking about my dashiki? So I don't know if this means that I'm not meant to be, in these corporatized kind of small talky jobs, or if I just gotta like find a place where I fit, or I continue to try to build this thing so I don't have to worry about it at all. But I know that that's not fair. It's like, I don't expect to be one of these like people, these entrepreneurs that just kind of sits around and expects things to happen. I know there's going to be like a transition to this thing. But I also like, I've got skills that are valuable in corporate, but I just can't stand small talk. I'll talk for hours about passionate, meaningful things, but the small talk and the one-upmanship and the games, I don't like that. I don't like it. I don't like it at all. Cheryl says, have the muffin. Have the muffin. Do all things that bring happiness. Have you ever thought of being a virtual assistant? You can set your hours and be able to work your dreams at the same time. I may have to look into that. I gotta figure out where those jobs are, especially now. I would love to get into some freelance admin work because, honey, I can set ablaze a Microsoft Office suite and a bunch of other platforms too. If you throw in like the graphic design and the web design and the marketing comms and all that. Yeah, I should start packaging myself that way too. Just kind of a one-stop project manager, admin kind of guy. Freelance, jump in, clean up your shit, keep you on top of things, bounce out. Consultant E, but more like special assistant E. Like bring back the virtual executive assistant, and then like sort people out who get kind of like, who don't want to be in the minutia of their schedules, but want to just show up and do the work. There could be a market there for me. I like it. I like it a lot. I don't mind maintaining people's calendars, even remote, just to make sure that they've got what they need. We'll see. This is a bit of a tangent on the whole internet, but whatever. It's all love. Oh, there's comments. I've worn a whole ethnic dress to work, and I work for the state. I love it. All three of us are Aquarius, and we get it. I fit in with fellow weirdos. I know. But we're lovable weirdos. I love it. I love it. I love it. We are lovable weirdos. It's all going to work out. I feel anxious. No, I'm not going to say that. I, from time to time, have feelings of anxiety related to this crisis. From time to time. Not all the time. I'm not perpetually anxious. From time to time, I have anxiety related to this. But then I'm reminded that I've never been forsaken so far. The universe has never not had my back. Meaning, the universe has always had my back. So why would it stop now? Why would he stop now? Why would she stop now? And so I just come back to that over and over. That's how I'm getting through this. On day 48, that's how I'm getting through this. You know, it's kind of like I have no clue what the future will look like. Thank goodness for Love City, because Love City kind of became the constant that everything was revolving around. So Broadway revolved around Love City. My day job revolved around Love City. And now like nothing revolves around Love City for now. And so I'm grateful for Love City to kind of keep me positively motivated and working on something that really matters to me. So yeah, what a gift, because I wouldn't be doing this for me. I don't think that the way that my personality and imposter syndrome and shit set up, I wouldn't get on here as Andre just to kind of talk about like, you know, my lemon muffins, but like doing it for the purpose of like sharing in gratitude and appreciation with y'all, like that works. But like I would never not do this. I would never do this without like how YouTubers just like put up videos and like talk to the camera, you know, like, oh yeah, today we're going to talk about, you know, these angel cards, you know, oh yeah, aren't they wonderful? I could never do that. And like, I'm not coming for them. Like, that's just not my gift. I think some of you can see like back over the years, I actually tried to do like YouTube-y type of shows and stuff. Just talking to a just plain camera. It doesn't work for me because like I actually like community. I actually love y'all. So, but I don't think I would do it just for me. That's masturbation. Anybody got time for that? Oh my gosh. Okay. And that's probably my cue to go and have the muffins and cook up some dinner and be happy. Oh my god, but then CJ comes in here. Oh my goodness. Cheryl says, allow yourself the space to feel it, but just don't stay there. Yeah. I don't. It's everything I just said. Hey, love is in the air. I love when CJ comes in here with that flag and just is like, love is in the air. I love it. For 48 days. He's not been here every day, but since the very beginning, like he's boldly like trotted in here saying, love is in the air. It is. So much has been going on my end, but you shall remain in good vibes. Yes, CJ, please keep your head up. Let me know how I can support you if there's anything I can do, even not in here. If it's in a DM, we can work it out, you know. Yes, I want an interactive podcast show. Yeah. You and I should do a Shooting the Breeze. Well, I mean, see, Cheryl, I'm not going to start with you, Cheryl, because I'm not gonna even start with you, because are you really gonna introduce that like it's, you know what? All right, Cheryl, fine, Cheryl, fine, Cheryl, yeah, sure, yeah, Cheryl, we should work on a project together, Cheryl, we really should. I don't know where that project would be, but yeah, we should. Let me stop. Cheryl's gonna be like, oh, you coming for me? No, I'm not coming for you. Anyway, thanks everybody for hanging out. I always try to not take these longer than my last rant, and into a space where I'm just kind of just sitting here taking up space. I know you're guilty as charged. Cheryl says, I know I'm guilty as charged. I know, but I love you. I really do. And there's no pressure in my relationships. None of them. I have not a relationship in my life that has any pressure. Not a one. Every time I feel pressure in any relationship, if it causes me that much suffering, I abandon the relationship altogether. No matter what the family tie, friend tie, 11-year friendship, 1-year friendship. If I get to a point where I have expressed my heart, and they have expressed their heart, and we can't come to terms on how to be in relationship and not cause each other suffering, I immediately cancel. It's not even cancel culture the way that they do it on Twitter, and then minutes later, Louis C.K. can have a show again. It ain't that kind of cancel. My cancel is an Aquarius cancel. It's very much so like, this is bringing me pain. We don't have to do this. We can revisit this relationship even 5 years from now. I'll reach out back to you in 2025, and we can revisit whether or not our relationship can work. There are people right now in my life who I'm not talking to. I trust that we will revisit our relationship in 2025 or 2024, or I'll die without that resolved, on the physical plane, or they'll die without that resolved on the physical plane. But there are people that are on some serious like ice because of the suffering. I refuse. Absolutely. Not today. So all of my relationships are harmonious by design. It's really, really fun. You should give it a shot. So yeah, the same will be true with us, Cheryl. There's nothing you can do to offend me or mess me up, because, love endures, like we said earlier. Cheryl says, I'm sorry. CJ, sorry, man. Yay, thank you. Same for you. We're all strong, but we got this. Boom. Yeah. Earlier in the episode, I was talking about the fact that you and I, especially, resilient people. Our ancestors came over here on ships. We're going to make it through this. Boom, as you say. Bianca, yeah. And when we are done, we are done. Yes. It's very, I don't say this to glorify this at all. But I've had to end suffering in my life to the point of deaths. My mother and I did not speak and communicate at all for 13 years. My father died in that 13-year span without us saying goodbye. I'm not saying that because I'm proud of it. I'm just saying that, like, that's how much I preserve my peace. And my father at the time of us, like, parting ways, and me kind of exiting their lives. They didn't exit my life, but I exited their lives, in all fairness. At that time, he was causing me a lot of suffering. If I had continued listening to my father and being around my father and subjecting myself to the shame I felt around my father, especially in the early 2000s, I would have killed myself. And that's just facts. And so I don't know. I've worked through therapy. That's the reason why I can talk about this so freely, and it's why it probably sounds like I'm talking about, like, how to make a mimosa. Well, then you take the orange juice, and then you take this, and then your father dies. I mean, I'm trying not to be casual about it, because I know that this is a sensitive topic for some people, but for me, it just seemed like divine order, because if I had stayed in relationship with him, I would have killed myself. So then he died without us reconciling that, but now his suffering has ceased from the illness he had on earth, and then my suffering has ceased as well over time, if that makes sense. Because I just didn't have to endure painful. Like, there's no gold star for being in relationship. There's no trophy for being in relationship with people that cause you pain. At all. CJ says, and in life, sometimes you got to do that with people. Yeah. Yes, love endures. Yes, Bianca. Jesus, Andre, I'm glad you're away from that. Yeah. It was wild, Bianca. It was wild. But, yeah, it's very healing and freeing, Cheryl, because, yeah, I've made peace. And I've had people, oh my God, let me tell you for a second. There are people who have come back into my life later on who try to very violently shame me for not being present for my mom when my father died, and not being there when she was going through that, and not showing up for the funeral and all. People have tried to shame me, and I have had words that they are not made for television, but I've had words with people about inserting themselves into my narrative and my relationship with my abuser and things like that. Not over here, you're not. And so, anyway, all that to say, that's a really, really deep tangent, but all that to say, choose happiness and choose relationships that fuel that happiness and fuel experiences and community. And fuel experiences, fuel them, and community that supports your happiness. I hope to be that for you with the Love City Arts work. But if it's not me, find someone that makes you wag your tail, because we're worthy of that. Oh my God, I've been going for an hour and 17 minutes tonight. Wow. Some nights it's like 15 minutes. Some nights it's like 10 minutes. Some nights it's like, I have a board member that jumps on and she's like, I just got on, and then you jumped off. I mean, sometimes you just don't have shit to say. That's okay too. Listen, wherever you are and wherever you listen to this later, know that I love you. I love you even though I've never met you, because that's just the right thing to do. And I think that if more of us start loving each other and showing up for each other just because that's the right thing to do, little by little, we're going to be living in a world of our dreams, a world of happiness, a world of love, a world of power, and a world of sound minds. I hope that I've helped to contribute to your sound mind tonight. I will be back tomorrow at 8:30, as I've been for the last 48 days, hoisting up a flag of gratitude and appreciation. I'm Andre in the Flow. I love you so much, and this is The Good Report. Have a great night, everybody.